Hi. One of my regular clients has a Camilla. It's beautiful. The problem is she's caught it on the sleeve. So what I'm going to do is just do a very short video on how to repair that. And the main thing is that most people when they do a repair like this, they would just run the seam straight through. And the biggest tip I can give is to unpick the hem. And when you take it in, take it all the way through and then turn the hem back. And then you don't get any bits sticking out so that people know there's something wrong. Now it is very close to the side seam, so I've unpicked that a little bit as well. And what I'm going to do is create a French seam as small as I can so that I will encase these frayed edges.
Hi again. So you can see it's laid on the table and you can see the nature of the tear. And as I said before, I've unpicked the hem allowance. Now put a colour thread on your machine that's as close as you can to the garment. I used a blue. And you're going to place wrong sides together. So the first stitching, you're going to have wrong sides together, and you're going to stitch as close as you can to the frayed section without going on the frayed section. When I did this, I found that at one section I'd gone a little bit too close, so I went back and just went over that, and it wouldn't really hurt to do 2 rows of stitching anyway. It's also important to taper off. I didn't talk about that, but taper off like you would a dart so that you don't end up with a pucker at the end of the seam that you're taking in. I'm trimming away the excess fray using the duckbill scissors. These are actually used mainly when you're doing a hairline seam on gowns and things like that. But I found that they're really good because you can get very close to the seam and they're easy to hold in your hand. They can be purchased from my website at jeanniecentre.com. If you go to the shop and then haberdashery, sewing aids, and you'll see scissors, nippers and unpicks. And now what I'm going to do is, I did press it. I think it's a good idea to do that. You can see how fine that is Please excuse my voice, it's gone a bit croaky. And again, I'm not starting at the at the armhole end. I'm starting at the other end, and just do it like you would a normal dart. Try and start as close as you can to the edge, coming slowly tapering in, and then stitch. If you can, you want to stitch right next to where you know the bulk of that fabric is on the inside, but without it actually poking through on the seam, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. So you can see there that it's as small as possible, and when you have a look on the other side, which you'll see a little bit later as well, none of the little bits are sticking out. And because it's got a pattern, it's going to be hard to see this seam anyway. Now there was a little tear, I think I showed you before, a little tear, and so what I've done is I've ironed some Vise Effects onto a piece of fabric, very fine sheer, similar to the colour that's there now, and I've just ironed that on, and I'm now closing the side seam all the way up to the armhole. I have already redone the hem allowance on around the armhole where I had repaired it. So you can see there that because of the pattern, when she's got that on, it's going to be very hard to notice that seam, and it could almost look like a dart. And because it's a French seam, it means there's not going to be any continual fraying. I mean, it could have been taken and overlocked, but I didn't think that was appropriate given the type of garment that it is. And I'm just going to, I've done a few photos from the beginning all the way through, and I'll just take you through those one at a time.